Did the 3 times where it just nailed my thumb. What's up, guys? Sam here. Welcome back to another video. Anyway, jumping into today's news, it stretches a mile. And we've got Apple Watch to talk about. We've got updates about AirPods Max. And if you have been waiting on a new Apple TV, like there's been a huge new report, especially about an event happening in late 2021. So drop a like if you're looking forward to this. Hit subscribe for more. Let's go ahead and jump in. But first, before jumping into today's main content, I want to address some controversy, some drama, something a bit mysterious. I'm not sure why everybody's reading into this, but I've kind of just decided to embrace my love of candy in 2021. And I've been sharing it with friend and fellow YouTuber John Prosser. I mean, sometimes he'll tweet me pictures of candy. Sometimes I'll tweet him pictures of candy. I mean, other times we just meet at the Genius Bar to hang out and talk a little bit. I mean, it really does depend on what we're feeling. I'm not sure why everybody's reading into this. I mean, yes, there's been a few tweets. Yes, I tweeted I don't know, kind of like leaky looking video teasing that something's probably coming this week. And all I can tell you is that, I'll tell you on the 27th, okay? And it's gonna be big. So I'll see you on the 27th. I wasn't supposed to share this, but hey, it's Wednesday. Just keep an eye out for what's happening on Wednesday, okay? When did this become a drama channel, dude? I'm here for the Apple news. Okay. Okay. Let's get right on in to the Apple news. Starting out with the first info we've gotten about the Apple event that could define some of 2021. A new report from the Verifier, just over 50% accurate. So take 50% of this with a very large grain of salt. They say that the next Apple TV will be unveiled at an Apple TV Plus special event in the fourth quarter of 2021, which means one of 3 months: October, November, or December. Now, for me, hearing that, I'm like, wow, we really waiting another year for this new Apple TV that really is not supposed to see that much of a significant upgrade. Like the Verifier says, it will have more than 3 gigabytes of RAM. It will have faster than an A12 Bionic processor. It will have 64 and 128 gigabytes of storage. And a lot of the focus is apparently going to be on a new remote as well. Like a lot of people have been complaining about the Apple TV remote for years, saying that it just isn't that user friendly. I agree. I am in that category. Yet, I don't know what the holdup on this Apple TV is. Like, it's essentially a spec bump update. It's not a redesign. It's not a reinvention of what this product is. The new Apple TV, like we've been talking about this for I think 2 years now, guys. And it's, I don't know if it's ever going to come out at this point. I actually did a podcast recently talking about that with my friend Simon. I'll leave a link to that down below if you're interested. The bigger news for me is that Apple will be holding an event in the fourth quarter of 2021. Now, prior to 2020, that was unheard of, but considering that we had an October and a November special event, and we got AirPods Max in December, I feel like the precedent is now there for Apple to release products at a little bit of a different time frame or schedule than we're used to seeing. Now, I think the Apple TV could come sooner, but that's just my guess. I mean, realistically, Apple will probably hold another Apple TV event. They held that weird non-product services only event. Remember in March of 2019, they called it the It's Showtime event. So again, they've done this before. I could see them doing it again. But the report also goes in and details some other wild things. They go into tvOS 15, talking about how it will be the first significant update in years. In recent WWDCs, we just haven't seen that much. Like I actually worked with the Verifier to break this story about a year ago. There's gonna be a new kids mode on Apple TV focused on kids only programming. We're gonna have screen time and some additional new DVR management features that will be more user-friendly as well. The App Store said to be getting a significant refresh in 2021 with tvOS 15. And then the Verifier goes on to say that Apple's working on something called Apple Arcade Plus. Okay, that just sounds fake. Like they even said the name is not final, and that's just sort of like internally what it's being referred to. But the implications of what this could be are pretty big. You know Apple Arcade, it's Apple's $5 a month subscription service for the Mac, iPad, iPhone, Apple TV, and it's okay. I've tried it. They have a trial. It's just, it's not been my thing yet due to the fact that so many of the titles are not only exclusive and kind of niche to mobile or the Mac or Apple TV. There hasn't been that first party title like an Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty or God forbid a a fortnight, really just anything that has made me be like, oh wow, I'm actually going to subscribe because this one game is this launch title that I'm super, super into. But with Apple TV Plus, apparently Apple is working with Xbox and PlayStation developers to bring some of their massive titles onto the Apple TV, which segues into the fact that the Apple TV is supposed to be way better at gaming. This Apple TV 6, said to be coming in the fourth quarter of 2021, will have a renewed focus on graphics. Where Apple Arcade Plus comes in is it will offer these sort of ultra premium AAA titles, but for an additional cost on top of Apple Arcade. It just feels kind of weird that there'd be two tiers of Apple Arcade to me. I feel like there's just gonna be one. I feel like Apple Arcade will just add these games and maybe there'll be a price increase to like $10 a month. I mean, we're seeing this with Google Stadia. We're seeing a ton of other people enter this game streaming space. It would be ridiculous to think Apple's not thinking about it. I just call complete BS on Apple Arcade Plus. I mean, that just sounds like one of those fake leaks from Twitter. Oh wait. It literally was. Now, moving on next to AirPods Max, obviously these headphones have been highly acclaimed, also heavily criticized, not only for their price tag, but also for like some condensation issues, Bluetooth intermittency. I've had a great experience with them overall. Really, the one thing I was disappointed about was the fact that all the rumors said that like the headband and the ear cups and maybe a couple of other parts of AirPods Max would be interchangeable. And then we got them and we're like, oh, you know, they're not as modular as we thought. And then last week happened and somebody just stuck a peg into one of the holes here. You know, we had to batten down the hatches on the ship. We started sinking out here. We're like, ah. And it turns out that AirPods Max are actually significantly more modular than we thought. And it took us 5 weeks to figure this out. I'm embarrassed, quite frankly. So iFixit did a teardown. There was another channel on YouTube that discovered if you take essentially a paper clip, or what I use, the SIM removal tool that you get with a lot of the iPhones you buy, if you stick it into these top holes at each of the ear cups, like after you remove the ear pad, which by the way, the ear pad's still not on sale yet, kinda sus, you can just remove the headband. Like, the headband is fully replaceable. So not only can you replace the ear pads after wearing them, you know, like your skin oils will probably slightly discolor them, or they just get worn down after years and years of use, thousands of hours of listening time, you can actually replace the headband as well, yet Apple doesn't sell headbands. I think it'd be brilliant if they not only sold different color ear cups, you could swap those out, but sell different color headbands. Like, what if I want a black headband with my super ugly green headphones that I still remember getting that regret. And now transitioning into the headlining story for today, for the Apple Watch Series 7, I mean, this could be huge. It is something pretty meaningful to me just because of the implications here. It's about non-invasive glucose monitoring. Now, before we jump into that, think about the Apple Watch Series 7 and the upgrades we've heard about and really not heard about at all so far. I mean, really, we've heard two things for the Series 7 up until this point. From Min-Chi Kuo, more specifically, we heard that there was going to be a new design. A lot of us speculating this means like the more flat edge, iPad Pro, iPhone 12-like design that Apple has been transitioning so many of their products to. The second thing we've heard, I actually broke this news with the Verifier about a year ago, that the next Apple Watch will have Touch ID. Apple's working on one of two ways to integrate this. Either A, directly in the display, so just like how it's going to be on the iPhone 13 Pro series, you'll put your finger here and it will let you into the device, or what I think they're gonna do is integrate Touch ID into the digital crown. I mean, it's already circular, just like putting your finger there, I don't know, kind of a shoe-in if you ask me, and I bet it'd be a heck of a lot less expensive. But so far, I mean, that's not really that much. Like, I mean, at the pace Apple's been going with the Apple Watch, that sounds about right for the year of upgrades, a new design and Touch ID. But what if there was something else going to be thrown in here? This brings us to today's report from ET News about Apple in 2021 bringing blood glucose monitoring to the Apple Watch. Now, initially, this sounds about the same as something like the blood oxygen monitoring, right? Where you run the little app and it'll tell you, oh, what's my blood O2? You know, where am I at? That is, I'm gonna be honest, I've heard no implications society, socially, medically, because Apple says it's for wellness. It's not even like approved or regulated. To me, it's just a feature that's for fun. I get nothing out of it. ECG, a little bit more important. Irregular heartbeat notifications, that has actually saved countless lives at this point. The one today, though, tops them all. blood glucose monitoring. And to know what it is, you have to sort of examine what life is like for people that need to use or take advantage of blood glucose monitoring. So this is normally for diabetics, people that have an irregular sugar content in their blood that they need to monitor. What that means is that multiple times a day, every day of their lives, they have to prick their finger to see where they're at. Are they above? Are they high? Are they low? You know, sometimes you get a little bit shaky if you haven't eaten. All of us can actually experience that because our blood sugar will be too low. We need to put something in our body to regulate it. But for people that are diabetic, a lot of the time they can't regulate that when they eat certain foods, especially those high in sugar. Yet a few years ago in 2017, we heard that Apple was actually working to solve this. They were working on something called non-invasive glucose monitoring. Non-invasive, how would that work? I mean, how can you get less invasive if that's the only way to do it? So that's a wild idea, right? For years, there's been no way to do this non-invasively. Apple has just figured it out. Well, apparently Samsung has as well. They're putting it on their next, I think, Galaxy watches. The report says on the Apple Watch Series 7, we will see this glucose monitoring on the Apple Watch. They suggest Samsung has done it optically somehow, but there's actually no detail about how Apple, in the Apple Watch that they have, has achieved it. And this leads us to the point in the report where I'm very mixed. And I think I have more short-term bad news and long-term good news. ET News, after reviewing their track record today, is only about 55% accurate, meaning that there's a 45% chance they're wrong about this. Also considering the fact that there's just like really no detail about how Apple has achieved this, I don't know, call me skeptical, because this would be a crowning medical advancement that would change the lives of so many people. Like, I can't overestimate how big of a deal this would be if reliably and medically certified, the Apple Watch could tell someone their blood sugar. I mean, you know, imminently, the biggest implications are for people with something like diabetes, but more broadly, it could detect something like that in you or me. So in summary, the Apple Watch Series 7 could be the biggest upgrade of wearables of all time, or it could just be another small update as we wait for Apple to get there. All right, let me know your thoughts on all this down below. Let me know what this feature would mean to you if non-invasive glucose monitoring actually happened this year. I think it'd be huge. Drop a like if you enjoyed it. Hit subscribe for more. Stay tuned for a big announcement on Wednesday. Can't wait. Hope you guys are doing well. I'll see you in my next video. Peace.